howdy. Thanks for watching the replay if you're joining me, and if you're watching the live in a moment, you'll begin joining in. This is actually what's starting the conversation today. Jennifer, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. This is actually what triggered my thoughts today. Second thing, actually. I'll get to that in a moment about complicated. We'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, let's get you back. And there we go. Hi. Yeah. There we go. In the tripod mount. I don't know why I did sound effects, but I just did. Hi, thanks for joining me. Welcome to my daily love scope. Thanks for joining me, Jennifer. Please share this out on Twitter and Periscope, because apparently my notifications are not doing... Oops, I did it again. Sorry, I got to do this the other way so that my face stays less washed out. Oh, so this is like... it's like... I actually do have color on my face, not just one-sided. Very strange. So yeah, Jennifer, please share this out on Periscope and Twitter if you're so kind to just spread the word, because mine isn't doing it. I'm actually good. It's good to see you on my scope, and thanks for being here. You're one of the regulars, which I appreciate. This is my daily love scope, and I'm going to get to the topic in a moment. And sorry, hang on a second. I'm going to see if I can fix this. There we no. Let's try and do it that way a bit more. No. I'm looking at kind of washed out, so I'm trying to avoid that. This is. Hang on a second. Let me do this. I'll do this again. I'm just going to change the position of the blinds so that I'm good. No, I'm okay. Just I'm trying not to wash out my face on camera, because I mean, it goes that. See, that's a better look. I'm not sitting that way. That's a shame. There we go. See, much better. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's so important to look better. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going. I look a bit washed out there. Like, not good. All right. So, thanks for joining my scope. Thanks for being here. You're the only one here right now, which I appreciate. You get total dedicated attention. How about that? I'm sure people will find me at some point. My scope does sort of slowly creep out into the, what do you call it? Internet? No, like the perisphere. Like people start finding out. Happy International Women's Day. I thought it was actually Women's History Month or something. I get that in my head. I don't know why. And that's what seems to be what started me yesterday. So I'm actually going to probably do a scope. At least I did yesterday. I'll do today and tomorrow, definitely related to Women's Day, Women's Month, women's stuff, because I feel that I deserve this. I want to share it to you. Mr. Gomez, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for coming in. Please make sure you share this out on Twitter and Periscope, because people haven't heard about my scope apparently, because the notifications aren't working, and that's not fun. So thank you for that. So this is True Love Tuesday. If you don't follow me, don't know me, I am a relationship, I'm not going to use the word coach, guide, expert, facilitator, enabler, inspirer, something on those lines. It keeps like evolving what my title is going to be called. But I am a number one best-selling published author and a speaker and a guide about relationships. My book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, is for singles, couples, men and women. That's my book. You're having you in the background. Oh, you mean I'm playing second fiddle or something else? How nice, thank you. You can listen, you don't need to watch if that helps you anything, you know, because that's the way it is. Today's scope is in honor of... Oh, you're cooking. Oh. You're allowed. All right. Number one, what's that, Jennifer? I'm not sure what you mean by number one. I didn't ask. Maybe you let me know the significance of that. I didn't catch it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess you value my words. I appreciate it. Today's scope is part of my weekly scope sequence. Monday is Man Up Monday. I did a scope yesterday about how to love a woman, or how you should love a woman for men. Tomorrow is Woman Up Wednesday, and I'll get to that one tomorrow. I don't have the topic yet. It will come to me, I know. But today is True Love Tuesday. And the context of this was initially about International Women's Day. And then I saw a hashtag piece about Amy Schumer responding to the interviewer for The Bachelor from last night's TV, which I didn't watch, but I saw the post about it, about how there was... Sweet Pea, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. Who was having a... conversation with one of the one of the was it looking at one of the interviews. I'm trying to see what it was. Okay, I'll guess that in a minute. I'm trying to read it whilst I'm talking to you, which is throwing things off. Anyway, bottom line is this: the interview host was saying to the ex contestant, because one of the girls who was chasing after the Bachelor, which is whole anyway. Don't get me started on the whole psychology of this thing, because I get really invested. But something was said that was misquoted or missaid, and basically Amy Schumer came on Twitter and just blasted the host, saying about how he shouldn't be portraying that women should be uncomplicated to attract a relationship. So I want to amplify that and speak that a little bit, because especially in honor of International Women's Day, I really want to get the emphasis into how to be authentic, keyword, authentic in your relationships. And this complicated thing is just like, that's a joke, because we're both complicated. I mean, both men and women are complicated. We're different too. So to try and simplify ourselves, and I live in Los Angeles, so frankly, hi, nice to have you here. Sorry, I got to see who people are who are coming in and saying hi to me, because George, thank you for being here. I've got to basically speak to it, especially living in Los Angeles, because there are people who pretend to be uncomplicated, and women especially have done that in LA over the years, to think they get what they want that way. And I have a certain disagreement is a good word with that. And I'm being serious. For those who don't know me, and some of you guys just on my scope, you didn't know who I am. My name is Barry Selby. I'm going to recap quickly so we get up to speed. I am #1 best-selling author, teacher, guide about relationships. I work with men and women, primarily with women though, who want to attract the right relationship, and mostly women who are successful in business, in the world, and getting things done, but their love life hurts or sucks or fails. And they've got enough heartbreak and hurt to last a lifetime, and they're done with it, and they want to attract the right sort of relationship. And so I speak to that in my work and with my clients. And so this being International Women's Day, I'm very passionate about women having what they want. So it seems to be aligned to speak about that today. This is True Love Tuesday, so I'm speaking to both genders in this context about how to have true love in a relationship. And again, what triggered this was a post about the host interviewing one of the contestants on the Bachelor. This was like the Girls Talk Back or something, one of the summary shows. It's a space full, as far as I can tell, about how he basically said to her that she, the fact she let go of her complicated past to be in this relationship was a good thing. And I'm like, no, we bring everything with us into relationship. And I'm very passionate about my clients healing what's in the way of that, but also not forgetting who they are and where they come from, because that's what makes you who you are. So if you want to have a healthy relationship, you've got to be 100% yourself in the relationship. Not 50%, not holding back, not pretending, fully engaged. But that's how you have a healthy relationship. That's part of it. Anyway, it's what I teach. So that hashtag, the whole thing, just like go, well, hang on a second, I don't agree with that. So I had to put something on Periscope in response. I'll get back to Amy Schumer, that's fine. I'm not trying to reach out to her anyway, but her Twitter post and hashtag, all that stuff, basically gave me the inspiration for this scope. And again, in honor of International Women's Day, this absolutely fits in the paradigm. So, as a quick expansion on this, I'm going to put it that way. And by the way, if you are watching, you can do one of 5 things. I forgot to tell you this at the beginning. How dare I do that? I forgot to tell you. First of all, make sure you're following me on Periscope. If you're not already doing so, you don't know what's going on when I'm doing my Periscopes. So swipe right on the iPhone, up on the droid, tap the guy in the corner, one of those 3 things, and make sure you're following me on Periscope. Second thing, be so kind, if you haven't already done so, please share this out on Twitter. Past makes us who we are. Yes, and I'll get to that in a minute, Jennifer, so stay tuned. I'm going to give you a caveat on that. Please make sure you share this out on Twitter to your Twitter followers, because they would indeed probably want to know about this scope. I'd like to think. Number 3, if you share this out on Periscope as well, because your Periscope friends and family want to be in on this. We're going to have conversation and dialogue and get hopefully some inspiration out of this. Number 4, please make sure you're tapping the screen for hearts, because I love the hearts coming in. And 5, if you've got any comments, questions, or thoughts, please type in the comments and field so you can actually say something and participate in the conversation. That's the 5 things. And thanks for being here. And thanks for sharing it out, all that stuff. Jennifer, to answer your to deepen what you say. What I think you said, and you can double check if I'm wrong, is that the past makes us who we are, so we bring the past with us into a relationship. Yes, and the and is we do that automatically. It's actually part of her makeup. And I've talked about this before, and there's a scope I did last week, and you can find this one on my archives in catch.me, which I'm going to give the link for that. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Excuse me a second, I'm going to find the sheet. There we go. If you go to catch.me/barryselby and you look up last Tuesday, last Tuesday's Periscope broadcast, a week before today, a week prior to today, catch.me/barryselby. And if you go to Tuesday's scope, and the title was something on the lines of True Love Tuesday, 95% versus 5%, watch that scope, because that explains exactly what I'm talking about here in a different way. But I want to just give you the cliff notes, since you're not there now, you're here, to give you something to work with. Yes, we bring our past into our relationships, and our past makes us up who we are. However, there's a lot of our programming, and I use the word programming intentionally, that's been installed in ourselves before the age of 7. I'm not going to give the whole details, but bottom line, talk about it then. You can watch that scope to get the content. It's part of the scientific research. They've discovered behaviorally about how we are raised and how we grow up, is we take in the world around us as a sponge up to the age of 7, including all the things that train us in our behavior. And it's automatic. So things we observed about love, about relationship, about how adults work together, we get imprinted on by what we see around us from 0 to age 7. And then it's built-in automatic programming. So who we are coming to relationship includes all that stuff, good, bad, or indifferent. For many of us, myself included, some of my past relationships suffered because I did bring some things into the relationship that weren't healthy from my past, that weren't in the highest vibration or something, or the highest possibility. And so I had some habits, some beliefs and rules and habits I picked up as a kid based on what I saw around me in my life that were not healthy for the relationship I was entering into. So part of the work I do with my clients, and this will say for you as well, is it's not all of who you are that makes you up your childhood. Yes, your childhood. Okay, since you've asked that question, I'll give you just a little bit more detail without going into the whole thing, because I don't want to cover the whole scope again before. As an infant, when we're born, we don't come in with a user manual. I'm sure you didn't. Nobody does. And the parents don't get one given to them saying, this is how a baby comes in, what you do with them. It's all trial and error. Largely, especially firstborn children, because we're the first one the parents have. From age 0 to about age 7 years old, our frontal cortex, which is our conscious awareness, our will, our ego, isn't online. Right at that point in time, just the other two parts of our brain, the main parts, reptilian brain and mammalian brain, roughly, which is the ones, the base stem, the top of the spine. I'm getting all scientific here, I know. But basically, the reptilian brain and the mammalian brain, which are really the survival level, are what's operating. And I equate mammalian brain as our subconscious, because really that's what's being programmed automatically or imprinted like a sponge when we're born up until the age of 7 or 8 years old. So our childhood is where a lot of our lifelong patterns get installed, because the frontal cortex, your conscious mind, doesn't really come online until about that age of 7 or 8 or 9, and that's the gatekeeper for all the stuff that you see in the world. So you see stuff in the world and you go, yeah, that makes sense, or it doesn't make sense. You have discernment at that point to say that, but before that point you don't. So it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, it gets imprinted. So you have an automatic programming, and again, watch that video for the details, explaining much more detail about that issue and how it impacts your life, especially in relationship. But basically, that's what you bring into your adult life, including dating. So the rules about relationships, your things you learnt before you were consciously aware. Think about how dangerous that is. And that imprint, it impacts your choices of relationship. And it works behind the scenes, which is even more frustrating because you don't have volition over this. It's automatic. Yeah, that's the point. That's why a large part of my work is helping my clients heal the history, because it's the stuff that's in the way of getting what they want. Part of it also is about clarity of vision, but truth is, that's again, conscious mind stuff, which is the little bit of the brain that's not on the conscious mind, roughly 5%. The subconscious mind, the midbrain, is 95% of your operating system, as it were. Actually, that sounds a pretty good analogy. I'm trying to think of a way of doing a good analogy, I think. I used to talk about an iceberg. The conscious mind is the part above the water. The subconscious mind is the part below the water, which is the biggest part. And that's the challenge. So your choices in relationship are governed by both parts. And guess which one has most influence? The part below the surface. So that speaks to what it is that impacts your relationship negatively, generally speaking, because most people's program in the subconscious wasn't the most inspiring, positive, or up-leveling. That's a shame. So, Spicy Red, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in my scope. I just been on for a bit. I'm glad you're here. Kimberly. Yes, sorry, I don't remember who was who. And if you're joining the scope late, please make sure you share this out on Twitter and Periscope, because there's a small turnout so far, because I didn't do my usual afternoon scope. I'm doing earlier because I have a mastermind call this afternoon. So conscience. Well, it's consciousness, not conscience as much. So, and this is the piece that I want to speak to, and I've talked about this before many times, but I want to speak to this about choosing a relationship. Thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate that. And it's such a thing. That's why I said about how, Amy Schumer's comment to the host, or tweet to the host of The Bachelor, this is where it comes from, by the way, you're just joining in, Kimberly, and all the folks coming in now. This is where it started, this whole conversation, was Amy Schumer was not pleased with what she saw on the show. I didn't watch the show, I just saw the hashtag post, the trending topic about it. That she basically blasted the host of saying about how he said something to the effect of that the girl was letting go of her complicated self to date. And I'm like, no, not cool. Who you are is important. At the same time, not everything you bring from your past is needed for you in the present for a relationship. So I don't speak to it being uncomplicated. I just speak about it as being more consciously aware, different. So in my work with my clients, and I've talked about this before, and I said, for those of you just joining late, I did say if you go back to my archive, which is catch.me/barryselby, to last Tuesday's scope, so a week ago today, which also was True Love Tuesday, that topic was the 95% versus 5%. So go and watch that for the content of all this stuff. I'm giving you trying to give you the cliff notes, but it's getting deeper, so I'm trying to stay to the cliff notes to keep it short. It's a piece that you've got to know. You've really got to be very aware of what drives you in a relationship. Now, and again, I should say that this programming doesn't just apply to a relationship, it applies to every area of your life. However, because that's my work, I speak about it in this context. But truth is, this applies to your business, money, health, exercise, religion, family dynamics, social engagement, work ethic. All those things come from that time too. So it's not just relationships. So even if you're in a relationship, you don't care about this, or you're not in a relationship, you don't care about this, listen up, because this is pivotal to your health success in all areas of life. So important stuff. Health, yes. Because we learn, again, imprinted from age of 0 to 7 with programming about how life is by the adults around us, caregivers, parents, grandparents, whoever it is. So we tend to take in the programming, speaking of health, for example, of what's good to eat, almost automatic. So we have default eating patterns that get trained that young. As an adult, we may say, I'm going to do a certain diet change and eat certain things, but there'll be a tendency, an attraction to certain food types because we were raised with them. And that's not ethnic, that's hereditary. Actually, it's more imprinting by behavioral hereditary behavior, not hereditary consciousness, if that makes any sense. Again, look at the scope from last week and get all the content. But anyway, it does apply to health, yes. But I'm speaking in the area of relationship because our choices for our partnerships are not by what happens in a conscious mind going, I want this, 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 and this. It's what a subconscious mind is going, but I need this sort of thing. If that makes any sense. It's this programming that is almost a need to fulfill itself in the relationship choices, more so than your conscious saying, well, I've got a vision board for this, 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 and this. That's all nice. But it doesn't happen usually unless it happens to coincide with the stuff that the subconscious mind needs. Yeah, I'm glad it makes sense. I mean, I've been studying stuff for a while, and I've come to conclusions, and also I've studied with some other people. Bruce Lipton, by the way, if you ever heard of Bruce Lipton, he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, and I saw him speak last October, November. He speaks directly to this, that our programming is built in, and it starts at a young age, basically 0, up until the age of 7. And it's the largest part of our brain, the mammalian brain. Our conscious frontal cortex is actually less powerful than a mammalian brain. We think we're in charge. We think we're in charge. Truth is, we're actually along for the ride because this part runs the show, the mammalian brain, which is the midbrain. I'm using, I'm not saying it's physically here, but it's that thing. Is like frontal cortex is our conscious mind, midbrain, mammalian brain is our subconscious mind, and the reptilian brain is reflex. That's the three. I'm using very simplistic language in gigs. I'm not a scientist or a biophysicist, whatever, but I have learned enough to know there's those three main regions of the brain. But it's the frontal cortex and the midbrain are the two parts that impact your relationship choices, and that's what you want to know about, isn't it? So some people ruled by a reptilian brain. I would say it's probably possible, but that's a wiring issue, because if the reptilian brain's in charge, that's such a reflexive point. Because basically, reptilian brain is just well, I would say mammalian brain and reptilian brain are a blend of the survival instincts: safety, non-safe, attack, and defend. But reptilian brain has some of that too. So I don't know. I can't speak to this clinically because I'm not trained in this, so I can't speak to that directly. You might have to do some research yourself. I would say that there are some people who do function that way. Yes. You did a board the other night on what I don't want, but now I need to figure out what I need. I can help you with that, because that's the thing, is that when you do that, in fact, in one of my programs, actually 2 of my programs, I do have a step-by-step process of going through what you don't want to what you do want. So I understand what you're talking about, and I can help you with that. Again, reminders. Sorry, I have to get my paperwork because I've got the sheets. I always make myself available if you want to talk. Go to barryselby.com/consult. That's where you can have a chat. That's a 30-minute conversation on me to help you get what you want. And I can help you with clarity on that if you have a question. So barryselby.com/consult. Okay? Yeah, because it's something that we've been, how can I say this? We've been taught in the modern world that you can have whatever you want, and the secret's all about this, and you do a vision board and it really happens. Like, yes and no. If you have nothing in the way of that happening, then yes, it'll happen. But very few people have nothing in the way. Most of us have history, have a track record, have an established pattern in our system that is really still controlling ourselves. And that is a, once it's a mistake, but it's an unfortunate choice point where we don't realize we're doing it. And that's the problem, is that we don't know that we actually need to be having conscious control, conscious volition, conscious action to clean up our past. You know, I used to talk about it being our baggage and like dragging this whole steamer trunk of stuff into our lives. Like, the truth is that really it is, it's in us, it's innate in us, and it's part of who we, it's part of who we think we are, and it's not the truth. But it gets in the way of our choices. So that's why my work largely with my clients is to help them attract what they really want. So I think that answered the question. Just checking, yeah, I'll make sure I've still got time, but I have a couple of mastermind calls coming up I've got to be on, so that's why I'm going to be missing some other scopes. I was doing my scope earlier today to get it in, so thanks for being here. So, Kimberly, I can help you with that, definitely. That's my work. So if you're looking for help with, reach out. All right? Forgiving yourself is hard, Jennifer. Depends how you do it, to be honest. You can forgive yourself easily if you know how to do it, but it involves doing the emotional work to get to the forgiveness. If you're sitting there just saying, I forgive myself for whatever happened in the past without doing the emotional work, it's like planting seeds on concrete. It doesn't really sink in. I know. Well, Jennifer, same as I said to Kimberly. Reach out. Let's talk. barryselby.com/consult, because forgiveness works when you are willing to go deep. And what I mean by that is that, because forgiveness isn't hard. Let's say it this way. I mentioned, like, if you do forgiveness without any sort of energetic or emotional works, like throwing seeds on concrete, if you do the work to uncover, reveal, and let go of the emotional upset in the way of the judgments, then it's like cultivating the soil. So then you do forgiveness, it's like throwing seeds into fertile soil, and then the forgiveness takes hold. I mean, that's the analogy I use because it's the truth. That's how it works. Forgiveness does work, but you've got to be shifting to an inviting space inside to allow the forgiveness to take hold. Then it's not hard, but it can be hard to get there if you don't get help. Hello. That's what I do, is help you with that. But it's also great because once you've done that, then starting to do the vision boards and the creation of what you really want gets so much easier, and it becomes more easy to manifest. That's the exciting part. So yeah. So I'm glad both for Kimberly and Jennifer, I can hopefully provide you some insights and these next steps, or offer my help if that's something that you want. So any other questions or thoughts? I was talking about this whole complicated thing from Amy Schumer, and I got off track, which is perfect because I really want to make sure I answer your questions, not trying to give you an agenda of my talk. Because I've forgotten, I got in the habit of teaching you stuff without saying, well, what do you want to hear? What do you want to know? So that's what this scope is. So any other questions or thoughts that you want to share about this whole discussion? And by the way, to the ladies, a deep bow of sincerity for International Women's Day, although I did think yesterday it was actually Women's History Month. I don't know, I got blended between Black History Month and International Women's Day, end up with Women's History Month, which I don't care. I mean, why not? Let's do a month of it. That's what I felt pulled to do anyway. So, any other questions or thoughts before I sign off? I will be doing another one tomorrow about women, because that is Wednesday, which is Women at Wednesday. Oh, Kimberly, I'm glad you like him, and I'm glad you get value. Both of you, Jennifer and Kimberly, my honor to serve. So thank you for watching. And yeah, if you want to go deeper and get some real transformation, that's working one-on-one. You know, I can only do so much in my scopes. One, because they're public, and two, because I can't be with you for an hour working one-on-one with you. So yeah, so that's it. And I'm glad you're getting value, because that's the reason I do my scopes. My scopes, I try to make. I mean, occasionally, once in a while, I do a scope that's really frivolous. I call it frivolous, but some people do scopes all the time that way, and I like to give value so that you're not wasting your time. So that in fact you get value and you go away with something to think about, and actually, ideally, some action steps. So, yeah. Hello. Sorry, I see who this is. Jim, how are you, sir? Good to have you on my scope. I'm glad, Jennifer. Yeah, it's my pleasure to help. In regards to vision boards, what I want in a relationship, impatience is my biggest problem. Yeah, well, it's not unusual, Joe. Here's the thing, and it's already mentioned in the scope in different ways, but let me say it to you directly this way. A vision board doesn't work unless... Easy fix, right. Thank you, I appreciate it, Jim. So, Sweet Pete, Joe. A rare one-line appearance to me. Yeah, I'm good. But let me finish up this thought for Joe, because I was in the middle of something. So hang on a second. Let me finish that. Vision boards, because the secret taught a great idea. A vision board, get it clear, get a vision, and away you go. Yes and no. The thing that's missing is you haven't cleared all the junk in the way of the vision board to have it work. And I said earlier in the scope about clearing out the past, about making peace with your history, and about having forgiveness. All these different pieces I was talking about are that piece that's in the way of your vision board. So unless your vision board is turned up, cranked up to the power of 11, which it won't be because you can't do it possibly, it won't override that. So for really powerful vision boards to work, you've got to remove the blocks in the way of the vision board being received by you. And that's why in my work, I work both with a vision board and clarity of the future, but also with clearing the blocks inside so you don't have something stopping you from accepting the vision board. So, you know, that's what it is. So, Joe, I hope that helps. That's what I talked about. And again, if you want to find out more about that, you just, that's the sheet again. That's my website, and you go /consult. That's when you book a 30-minute chat with me, and we can talk about it. Okay, Joe? So, everyone's coming in now, which is great. All right? Yeah. No, hey, I've had a lot of work to do too. So, you know, clear past, I won't say as first, but clear past at the same time as you're looking at your future, because they're two different pieces of the same coin, which is you. Past and future are important. You know, you can't just go, forget the past, I'm just going to work on the future, because the past doesn't forget you. It's in there, in your awareness, it's in your memory banks. That's why you got to do the work with it. And I'm sorry to break it to you. That's why Match.com and Tinder and matchmakers don't succeed generally, because they don't do that work. They just give you a picture of something to look at, which is like a vision board, only online. So I think to know, and I will say this clearly again, that Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Match.com, all these different sites and apps are tools. They're not your answer. But the tools only work when you have the right way of working with the tools. And if you don't clear history, you can't even pick up those tools. This is, I've got a really weird analogy showing up. I'm not sure if it fits, but I hope you understand my point. It's just entertainment for me, yeah. Definitely don't take it seriously. Well, the thing is, if you don't get involved in dates and relationships, that's good, because you don't trust those sites, right? Yeah. The thing about those sites, okay, let's make this point too. This is gonna seal the deal, I think, for some of you. I said about how your history, your midbrain overrides your conscious choices. And again, watch the scope from this time last week if you want to get the whole thing about the way the subconscious and conscious mind work together. 95% versus 5%. What's it got to do with love was the title of the scope from last Tuesday. Cash.me/barryselby is the site is that we can go look at it. But let me just throw one more piece in the pie for you to really go, oh crap, for you. Trust me, you'll like this, I think. You say, you know, if you go Match.com or Tinder just to check something out and meet somebody, the way consciousness works, and this is so like, oh my God, at the same time it's like, oh crap, is that 95% of the subconscious mind in the midbrain I talked about. Well, I didn't give you the numbers, but that's what the scope was about. And you can again watch it for the whole deep explanation with props and everything. It was great. is that your subconscious programming that you have from when you were a child, for example, of way things were in love and relationships, is still running behind the scenes when you're doing your vision board and when you go to Tinder or Match.com. What that means is that you go on Tinder and you go swipe, 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 swipe. Oh, that one's nice, and you tap on them. You think it's your awareness here, your eyes, your conscious mind, your vision board going, oh, that's a nice person. What's really going on is that subconscious pattern in the background, in your subconscious, underneath everything, is going out there scanning for somebody. And the person who you're swiping and seeing on Tinder, almost guaranteed, has the matching pattern on their side. So when you meet up, your patterns intersect. So your subconscious programming and their subconscious programming meet and do the dance. If it's an addict and meeting someone who needs to be addicted, or if it's like if you had an experience when you were a kid of being abandoned by your dad if you're a woman and your mother if you're a man, when you become an adult, you'll attract someone of the opposite sex who will abandon you. That's the programming. That's the automatic subconscious programming, and you won't even know when you meet them that they're going to do that to you. But pretty much guaranteed, 3 or 4 months into the relationship, you'll start noticing that pattern. How the hell does that happen? That's your subconscious programming doing its magic, and it's scarily good or bad. Yeah, the cycle continues exactly. That's why. I did this myself. I had to go through and clear out stuff that was in my history to change the paradigm of choice I made in a relationship. I had to, because that was a piece that was painting my choices with a brush. Yeah, it is mostly bad. It's true. So that's why I want to make sure if you're interested in this work, you talk to me, because this will be in the way for you otherwise. And I want to help you get what you want. This is my work in the world. If you're in my email list, if you're on my email list, if you work with me, if you hear me talk in public and other events, it's kind of in my conversation now because it's so important, and it's not talked about enough, and it's not resolved enough, so you get what you really want. So there. And by the way, this stuff is true for men and women. Obviously, it's not gender specific. Men and women carry these patterns from our childhood that impact our choices about the opposite sex or the opposite attraction, whether you're gay or straight. So it's important to know this stuff. And I'm realizing it's not in my book yet. I think there's a book 2 coming out now, because this one's a big piece, and it may have a book of its own. I don't know. It's a big piece of the puzzle, but it's vital that people know about it, because otherwise it will keep playing out its evil games behind the scenes in your relationship choices, And you don't want that. You want what you really want. So having a vision board is important, because that's what you really want. But unless you clear the stuff in the way, you'll never get it. So, oh, you get my book? Nice. Glad you have. Sorry, let's do that. Who was the Miss Beauty Bliss? Can't see who that is. Okay. Well, thank you. If you go to my site, you can actually get the ebook right away if you don't want to get the physical book, and it'll be quicker because my physical book takes a while to get to you. barryselby.com/book. How easy is that? It's my name /book. Ebook is right there, and it's $10. You can just download it and get it right now, or you can get the physical book there, or you can click on the link to go to Amazon for the Kindle version. This is the physical book, and it's for men and women, couples, singles, straight or gay, because not every principle applies to everybody, but most apply to everybody. So that's the book. All right. But this piece I'm talking about really is, I don't think I talked about it in a very cursive way in the book, because this has really come up since then. Thank you for that. I appreciate you putting up the link. Thanks so much, Jim. But if you really want to go deep and really want to change this and change your course in your relationship choices the right way, then please make sure you reach out. All right? Yeah, thank you, Jim. Nice to be back, Kimberly. So this is my work. This is the large part of it. And I didn't expect to get to this deep point again. Just started as this whole point about being Nate. Well, it's all the dudes are showing up. Just doing a quick lunchtime scope, which I got to get off soon because I've got a mastermind call in a little bit. So this is true for everybody, for men and women, about this relationship choices. If we don't have it is indeed your friend Barry Selby. Yes, this is me, myself, and I. Thanks for being here. This is indeed a conversation, and it keeps coming at the same topic, but I want to make sure everybody gets it, because if you haven't heard it, it's important to know it, and if you have heard it and you haven't done anything about it, it's good to hear it again. But again, back to what started this whole topic today was a post I saw online from Amy Schumer, recapping from the beginning for those who missed it, about how she got upset with the host of the You Need to Snag a Copy of My Book. Well, you get the ebook right away. So again, ebook is on my site. You can get it right there. You have it reading in an hour. 5 minutes. You just log in, pay for it and get it. It's $10. You know, the physical book, it'll take a week or two because they print and ship. It's print to order. And the Kindle version is available on Amazon right away as well. So, excuse me a second. So, yeah. So that's it. All right. Here you go. Nate and Jim in here. We've got, by the way, any of the folks watching, I'm part of a group called the Perry Dudes. And Nate and Jim are two of the members of the group as well. Actually, two of the leaders with us too. So, yeah. Amy was talking about The Bachelor. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for that. Amy Schumer was talking about The Bachelor. There's the link. Thank you so much. Regarding the host interviewing one of the contestants, saying how she left a complicated life behind to be on The Bachelor, and the implication was that she was being less complicated, and the truth was not true, but that was kind of what he said, and she jumped on it and said, you know, women shouldn't become simple to get relationships, which I agree with. Well, it's true for men and women. We should be ourselves, be authentic, be real. That's kind of my message. You know that about me. And that's what led me into the conversation about what you choose and what you get aren't the same thing. And that's the biggest takeaway, is like what you choose and what you get not being the same thing. There's something in there. You do have an ability to change that. And that's the work I do. So that's it. That's my scope for today. So that show got you this year. I didn't watch it. I think I saw like half of one show and was like, I was almost about ready to throw up, so I left it. I mean, if they put me on the show, I would be like a fox in a hen house, in the sense of waking everything up and waiting and stirring things up, you know. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's right. The contestant lost her whole family to AIDS, and she basically was. And they were talking about how she had quite a history, and she'd overcome it, which is good. But the way he asked the question was not most inspiring. I would have said to her, the way that you are still loving after what you've been through is a testament to your will and your strength, and that brings you into a much higher level of dating possibility. See, that to me was a smart way of saying it. So it was the guy. He was so awesome and genuine. The girls were a little annoying, though. Oh. But according to the interviewer, he was talking to one of the girl contestants about that. And unless I'm talking about two different shows. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's what inspired my talk. And I may have started with a totally different topic than I planned. Sorry. That's what I was reading. And it was like the host was a guy and the interviewee was a woman about that. So maybe it's another show, another version. Was it last season? I don't know. I don't watch the show, so I can't tell. No, I read it correct. Okay, thank you. I read it correct. I was trying going, what did I see there? It was getting a bit messed up there. So I was like, you know, getting on a roll. So, we went off to tangent. It's okay, it's fine. So any other questions or thoughts or things you want to know about? You're talking the season in general. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole season. I didn't watch. I mean, to be honest, reality shows are not my thing. The only reality shows I watch anytime, once in a blue moon, one is The Voice, because I had to like the music on The Voice often. And I actually got to be on The Voice about 4-5 seasons ago. Not singing, but a part of a backup group for a singer. That was a very cool experience to be physically on the show. Nice to see you too. Sorry, I'm seeing who's which. Oh, Jennifer, yes. Nice to see you again. And the other show I watch once in a blue moon is I like the reality shows on the Food Network, which is so different. Like Chopped. A friend of mine is working with one of the guys who was a winner on the show in Venice, California, who he does high-end catering and works also with the homeless. There was a show, I didn't know about the show, I just read the article about it. MasterChef, that's different. That doesn't grab me as much. But Chopped is cool because it's very competitive, but there are actually people I've seen on the show who I know. And this guy I heard about, they had a Chopped where all the 4 contestants had special gifts they served in the community somehow, where they fed the homeless or worked with underprivileged children or whatever. So they had charities they worked with, and he won it. And because he's actually a master chef, high-end restaurants, and he decided he works at a place in Venice called the St. Joseph Center, which actually provides full, proper, like high-end flavored meals for the homeless and the people in the shelters there. It's really cool. And he also does high-end catering to pay for his life, and he also does teaching. So he does make money, but then he gives back this way. And I think it's every day of the week, which is very cool. So anyway, so back to the topic. That's way off tangent. That's one of the reality shows I look at. Don't really watch much of the other reality TV, because a lot of reality TV isn't real. You notice that? And boy, yeah. So your son Luke caters lean meals. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, writers and producers. Ah. Yes, they do that, don't they? I've got a friend of mine, actually, she was one of the winners on Survivor like 7, 8 seasons ago. She lives locally to me too. So I've met a few of these people. And they can't talk about it because they're non-disclosure agreements, but you know, it's TV, it's ratings based. It's not based on authentic news. You know, like even the news programs aren't authentic news. That's another reason I like Periscope, by the way. It's real, it's raw, it's true. So that's the best reality TV I know is Periscope. Yeah, how's that for a spin back to the app? Okay, I'm rambling away now. I think I'm off topic. Any other questions? Any thoughts? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's live, it's real, and in person. Good, bad, or indifferent. So yeah, any other questions, thoughts before I sign off? I'll just see one of my whoops. Yeah. So thanks for being here. Thanks for the love. Any other questions or thoughts before I sign off? I think I've covered the gamut at this point. I've nailed it home and buried it like 17 times. And again, the ladies who asked about it, Jennifer and Kimberly, can reach out, let me know. And Joe as well. If you want help, please reach out again. The link, if you want to get more information, to talk, flash the cards. If you just sign up for a consult for a 30-minute chat, and I'll give you some guidance. And if you want to go further, we can. And that way, you know if you want to do work with me, and I know if I want to work with you. All right? You're welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're just joining, please watch the replay. It got longer than I planned because we got deeper, which is good. Because initially it was kind of like, anybody in there? And nobody was out there. So I just started talking about my topic, and then it plunged in deep, which is good. You're welcome. Thanks, Jim. Sorry, some of the colours are light, so I can't see the pictures very well. That light blue is hard to read. But it was Jim, yeah, sorry. Okay, I'm signing off. I was going to say what I'm on later today. I'm not on any Pass the Card Share-a-thons today. I was supposed to be on them tonight, I think, but I can't. I'm committed to another event. So this is my daily scope for the day. Just doing the one for a change. Like, only one scope today. Last Tuesday I did 4. That was a busy day. Just one today. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a happy International Women's Day for ladies, and take care of yourselves, all right? And I'll be back on again tomorrow. Actually, I know I'm on twice tomorrow because I've got Woman Up Wednesday, and I've got the Share-a-thon I'm part of for the Perry 10K group as well. And that's it. All right, folks? So have fun. Get out there and take care of yourselves. Get out there and take care of yourselves. Yeah, that makes sense. Get out there and take care of yourselves. Be safe. And have fun. And I'll be back on again later. And thanks for following me and watching me on Periscope. Please share this out in the replay. And if your friends know about it, hopefully it will change their lives for the good as well. Yes, I will be. Thanks for watching. All right, folks, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon. Bye.